to faithfully serve the people for the duration of my life. This is my confession before I die.
Shaken by the force of his testament, the bishops backed down. For the rest of his life, Patrick of Ireland continued to minister to his adopted people. And the Irish rewarded him with their love. At the time of Patrick's death in the mid-5th century, Western Europe was in chaos. The Roman Empire was burning at the hands of barbarians. The Dark Ages were about to descend upon all of Europe. But the Irish church Patrick founded continued to flourish. All over Ireland, his followers raised stone crosses 3 men high, announcing the success of the new faith. They were not gravestones, but illustrations of biblical stories that even the illiterate could understand. Ireland became the principal center of not only piety, but of knowledge. During the Dark Ages, literacy survived only in monasteries, and the Irish clergy became the luminaries of the Western world.
People came in from Europe and in from Britain and came in. There were thousands of people coming to school here in the after Patrick's time.
Fugitive scholars from all over Europe saved ancient texts from the barbarians and smuggled them into Ireland. They turned its monasteries into the storehouses of the great works of Western literature and the birthplace of a new Europe.
The Irish invented European civilization. And while they're doing it, they do a number of other extraordinary things. Invent everything that you and I take for granted on a printed page.
They were the first to separate words one from the other. Up to that, words were all stuck together. The Irish separated words.
And they developed ideas like paragraphs and the difference between uppercase and lowercase, and it was just this huge explosion of creative activity.
Irish monks copied and illuminated the classical works of Western civilization. The most glorious of these manuscripts, the Book of Kells, depicts the 4 Gospels. The monks who created it included whimsical allusions to monastic life, along with their own caricatured self-portraits. These pages honor their warmth and humanity and their playful sense of humor. The Book of Kells intertwines Christian and Celtic imagery, uniting Patrick's Ireland with its pre-Christian past. This celebration of what was beautiful in both cultures is a testament to Patrick's genius, which brought the two together in a loving embrace.
7th century legend produced a Patrick which is really the Patrick that most of us know.
Well, the church is trying to make him a standard bishop by dressing him up with mitre and sceptre, more or less, as a standard continental-style Orthodox bishop would be.
An ambitious Irish church seized Patrick's legacy. They circulated among the faithful fables and miracles chronicled by Murahu, Patrick's first official biographer. One of the most famous legends describes Patrick's triumph atop the Hill of Slane, where he lit the first Easter fire on a sacred pagan holiday. When the furious king retaliated, Patrick made himself and his retinue disappear.
They weren't trying to be deceptive and trying to make up imaginary stories about Patrick, but Patrick to them was a hero, and they wanted their hero to have the same quality as all of the other great Christian saints and be able to work miracles and to do wonderful things.
St. Patrick was said to have chased all the snakes out of Ireland. And though he did rid Ireland of the serpentine spirit of paganism, there had not been a snake in Ireland since the Ice Age. Irish folklore married the familiar three-leafed shamrock to Patrick's tail. Legend claims he used this sacred plant of the Druids to explain the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
We don't have any good evidence that Patrick ever used a shamrock in his explanations of the Trinity. He might have, but we just don't know.
But Patrick's life was legend and miracle enough. He electrified people with his teachings, and he still inspires thousands to journey across Ireland to pay him homage. Down Cathedral in County Down claims to be Patrick's final resting place. But so does Seoul, where Patrick is said to have founded his first church. Croagh Patrick in County Mayo marks the spot where legend claims Patrick spent 40 days and nights communing with God and banishing the demons. For hundreds of years, pilgrims have climbed the mountain as an act of penance. On the last Sunday in July, thousands still ascend the mountain to honour Ireland's most famous saint.
I suppose wherever the Irish went, they brought him with them, this figure of St. Patrick. And I assume that the great St. Patrick's Day parade on the 17th of March is a direct descendant of that.
The first St. Patrick's Day parade was organised by homesick Irish immigrants in America. Over 200 years ago, on the traditional anniversary of St. Patrick's death, Irish soldiers in the colonial army marched through the streets of New York to pay Patrick loving and joyful tribute. Today, on March 17th, in cities around the world, more than 50 million people gather. Both Irish and not, they celebrate St. Patrick with annual parades and festivities he could never have imagined.
If Patrick were to come back and somebody were to say, I have a little balcony here on Fifth Avenue, I want to see this parade, he'd jump off the balcony, he'd say, stop! This is not what I was preaching at all. Now disperse, go home and pray and help the poor.
What is striking about Patrick is that he is the only citizen of the Roman Empire to have been taken captive, to have been taken away from kith and kin, from home and hearth, to have lived in that place for 6 years. To have escaped from it. To have written his experiences, and for those experiences to have survived. There's nothing like it anywhere in the world. Not just in terms of Irish history. This guy is absolutely exceptional.
So we have seen it, and so it has been fulfilled. However ignorant I was, I dared to preach his gospel for a testimony to all nations. I pray whosoever deigns to look at this writing, which Patrick, the sinner, has composed in Ireland, let this be your conclusion. It was the gift of God.